Hello everyone, welcome back once again. So this is our December 2019 question paper. In today's video, we are going to start with December 2019 and we already completed all the questions from your June 2019 and you would have gathered immense knowledge from those videos. Whatever has been told in those videos, you just need to remember that and nothing else apart from that. Okay. And now you will see the magic in December paper where you will find similar type of questions coming again and you will be able to link it very easily because you have done your homework over here. Okay, now moving forward, this is our very first question that came in December 2019. Five phenomena is best seen between which of the following time intervals, and this question has never been asked again. So you don't need to remember this just before exam, you just need to memorize it, nothing else than that. And what you need to remember is you need to remember about what is five phenomena. Okay, so five phenomena is related to what? Related to your light. Okay, why light? Because, and before that, who proposed this was proposed by your Max Wertheimer. Okay, the Gestalt psychologist Max Wertheimer. So now, who are the three prominent Gestalt psychologists? You know, first of all, Max Wertheimer, then you are having Kurt Kofka, and then you are having that inside learning one, Kohler, Wolfgang Kohler. These three are the prominent psychologists of your Gestalt school of psychology. Max Wertheimer is the same guy who proposed what? Who proposed your five phenomena, and the answer for this question is 30 to 200 milliseconds. Okay, just this much, nothing else than that you need to remember for this particular question. And now in your entire life, you are not going to forget what is phi phenomena. So whatever you are seeing over right on the screen is referred to as your apparent motion of these two stimuli. So this is stimuli 1 and this is stimuli 2. You would be seeing this as jumping from position A to position B. But it's just nothing. These are just two simple cards which have been flashed on the screen, and the range is given as your 330 to 200 milliseconds. So you do not need to remember this thing 30 to 200, but what you need to remember is it is a phenomena for your apparent motion of movement, we can say, not light exactly. And now what you need to note down is it begins in 1912. Okay, so we can say officially Gestalt was started in 1912 when first of all Max Wertheimer gave this phenomena of five phenomena, and after that rest is history, you already know. So in 1912 Max Wertheimer proposed about Gestalt psychology. Why? Because he came up with the phenomena of this five phenomena. That's it. 1912, make sure that you remember this thing for Gestalt, not with behaviorism, and don't get confused. And now the next question is, do you need to remember this thing? No, never. Just before exam, when you are watching these videos, just make sure that you note down this thing 30 to 200 milliseconds, and the same thing you will find in upcoming papers as well, where there are some factual questions which you do not need to mug up or remember. But the concept which I am explaining is very, very important. After that, this question again, Dr. X as a therapist felt a sense of complete understanding towards a father client. This that behave exactly the way his own children used to behave. This is simple your sympathy. Okay, and this question never get repeated again, so you do not need to worry and dwell on type of these questions. Okay, don't need to study, but yes, this is important and we will dive into this. Okay, which of the following would be the best method for studying the relative contribution of heredity and environment? So now we have two components over here, heredity and environment. So heredity is what? Whatever we are getting from our genes, and whatever we are getting from our environment is our surroundings. Okay, maybe our mother, father, our school, community, where we are, workplace, organization, whatever is in our environment will determine some things, and our genes will determine some things. And the question is asking about the best method for studying the relative contribution of heredity and environment. Okay, now for doing this question you need to have some knowledge about identical and fraternal twins. Okay, so first of all we will go to developmental psychology, because why? This is your mother, this is your father. Long back you got birth in a form of this single cell. This single cell is called as a zygote, and you have watched the previous video also. And what happened there, what is the procedure of division of cells is called, and you will find the same answer in this paper as well. It is called as mitosis. Okay, so what is happening in the mitosis? The cell is getting divided into two. So this zygote divides into two cells, then this into two, this into two, then this into two, this into two, this into two, and this into two, and you form as a baby. Okay, now you are a baby. All right, but before that, the history lies where? History lies in the egg, or we can say the ovum, and the sperm. Okay, so sperm is coming from father, and egg and ovum is with mother. Okay, so now when the process of fertilization takes place, what happens is sperm is entering in the egg. Okay, sperm is entering in the egg, and this egg will give birth to a zygote, or we can say fetus, or we can say a baby. Okay, so baby will be coming out from this particular egg. As of now you are able to understand this much, it's completely fine, nothing more logic science you have to apply, just simple things. So sperm will enter in the mother's egg, and then it will fuse, and then what will happen? A baby will born. Okay, now what if I show you this, and now after this you will be able to remember this for your entire lifetime. So this is the egg, and this is sperm coming from outside, and it is getting the process of fertilization. So NTA might ask you anytime what is fertilization as well. Okay, because they have asked in the past but not in the recent times. But after that, when the fertilization has taken place, it will form into a zygote. Okay, so a zygote looks like this, and after that what is going to happen is this zygote is doing what? It is dividing in the process of mitosis, and the division is taking place, and it is forming as a embryo, and after that it is becoming a fetus. Okay, so you remember the stages of this thing, that this is the stage of development. They have asked questions like this in the recent times. And now once more, this is the fertilization taking place. The first zygote is created over here, and then what it is doing, it is dividing, and then it becomes in 4 cell, then the 8 cell, and it becomes a blastocyst, and forming then the embryo, and then the upcoming period is going on. Okay, and then finally you are born as a baby. And now why you studied all this? Because we are talking about the identical twins, and we are talking about the fraternal twins. So in your daily life, you would have witnessed twins, brother or sister, maybe brother brother, or maybe sister sister. Okay. So how does that happens is, first of all, this we will take as a mother and father, mother and father. So mother is having a egg and a single, we can say, sperm. Fertilization takes place and a child is born. So we will call this child as identical twins, because what will happen eventually is this ovum, or this single egg fertilized by this single sperm, now this will break into two pieces, you will understand like this, and then the mitosis will start happening for these twins. Okay, so this is the process for your identical twins, where we are having only single sperm and only single egg. But now the condition will change in the fraternal twins. What is going to happen is, this is the mother, this is the father, and now mother is having the ova, or let's say 2x, and the father will have these two sperms, and now what will happen is this will fertilize this, and this is going to fertilize this. Okay, for any confusion, let's remove this, and this will fertilize this. Now what is happening is this sperm will have some genetic code, and this will also have some genetic code, and that's why it is getting fertilized to different eggs, and the child will do what? Child is going to be born from these particular eggs, one child from this, one child from this, and we will refer to this as fraternal twins, and it is also called as our monozygotic. Okay, now you will remember the question also. Monozygotic, this question is being repeated again and again. And dizygotic. So what does zygote means? Zygote means over here that two eggs, or zygote is forming from two eggs. Okay, in the dizygote, di means two, make sure you remember, di means two, sometimes bi also means two, but mono means what? Mono means only singular. Okay, so monozygotic means zygote is forming from only single egg, or single egg zygote. Okay, so mother will have this egg, and twins are happening from this particular egg dividing into two, forming as the twins. But here, from one egg one child, from one egg one child, and it will be called as dizygotic twins. Okay, so this is the example, and these are also called as monozygotic or identical, because they are similar. Their genetic combination is approximately nearly 100% similar. Why? Because they are being fertilized from the same sperm. fertilized from the same sperm. But what is happening over here is two different sperms are fertilizing, so their genetic combination is maybe somewhat different. Okay, we will don't dive into the biology over here, but the crux of this topic is you get to differentiate between monozygotic and dizygotic. That is the main crux of this question, or sorry, my explanation. And now see how quickly you will be able to solve this question. Comparing identical and fraternal twins reared together. Now you know who are fraternal twins and now you know who are identical twins. Okay. Comparing identical and fraternal twins reared apart. Comparing siblings. Who are siblings? Maybe uncle's child or uncle's children, uncle's daughter reared together and reared apart. This is not going to be the answer any day because just now you understood about identical and fraternal twins. So comparing identical and fraternal twins, half of whom have been reared apart. And now to sum up this, this is the image. This is for identical twins. Single sperm fertilizes single egg. Single sperm, single egg split into two babies and two halves. DNA 100% maternal and 100% paternal. Okay, maternal and paternal. And here two eggs, two sperm called as fraternal twins. This is the thing which we are looking for. DNA is 50% mothers and 50% fathers. Okay, 50-50, 100% ratio is coming in identical and in fraternal. So there is some difference between monozygotic and dizygotic over here, or fraternal twins and identical twins. Now the question is asking about heredity. So you know about heredity, how it will be measured by identical and fraternal taking together, and environment, how you will change the environment. There's only one option over here which is including both heredity also and environment also. Why? That is our option number 4. Comparing identical and fraternal twins. So this will comprise of what? This will comprise of your heredity portion. This portion will be coming from here, and half of whom have been reared apart. What does reared apart means? Reared apart means they have been taken to somewhere else, maybe let's say America or Russia or China or Japan, wherever it is, and half of them are in India. Okay, so let's suppose there are 100 fraternal and identical twins. 50 of them have been reared apart in India and 50 of them have been taken to America. So are there any differences between them? This can be studied, and this is be called as the best method for studying. Okay, we will compare both identical and fraternal as well as plus half of whom have been reared apart out of these. Okay, so I hope now the question is very clear, and this is a somewhat difficult, but now main thing is to understand this identical and fraternal twins difference. Okay, so if you have found anyone with the same genetic code, they are mostly what? They are mostly identical, and sometimes different will be called as the fraternal twins. So for more information you can read your standard books, but the question is not going to come from there. The question is going to be coming from here only, where you have to differentiate between dizygotic and monozygotic. You just need to understand this only point. What is the difference between dizygote and monozygote? Monozygote means mother one egg, twins happening two from that single egg, and second is your two eggs and two twins happening from two different eggs. Okay, now next question, which is the following is the most common anti obesity hormone. And now this question is very important because they are asking it again and again from this point. Anti-obesity hormone. So first of all, what is a hormone? Hormone is something which is getting released into our bloodstream that you know already. We have discussed in June 2019. Now orexin, ghrelin and insulin, what they are doing is they are making you eat, but only one option over here is, that is leptin. Leptin is the correct answer over here. Which of the following is the most common anti-obesity hormone? So first of all, what is obesity? Obesity is nothing something but fat. Nothing, just you are fat, fattier, fattest, whatever the noun and verb it is happening over there. But whatever verb form you want to consider, but obesity means to be gaining weight. Simply associate with this gaining weight. Okay. So the question is asking which of the following is the most common anti-obesity hormone. Okay. So anti-obesity means which will not lead you to gaining weight. Okay, which will not. What does obesity mean? Obesity mean gaining weight. So what does anti-obesity means? It is mean not to gain weight. And which of the following is that hormone particularly? So leptin is that hormone, which is the correct answer over here. It will not let you eat more than you desire. So if you are at normal stage, you are not hungry, it's fine. But when you are doing fasting or when you are hungry, what is happening? Leptin is decreasing. Okay, if you have not ate for, like say suppose 4-6 hours, what is going to be happening in your body? leptin levels will start decreasing. Okay, but as soon as you eat 2 chapati, 4 chapati, 6 chapati, 8 chapati, 9 chapati, 10 chapati, 1 rice, okay, what is going to happen? Leptin level will become high, because the major primary function of this leptin is to tell your brain that okay, it's enough, let's stop eating. It's enough, let's stop eating. It's enough, let's stop eating. If you tell your brain okay, let's stop eating, what will happen? It will work as anti-obesity. Okay, and let's suppose if this leptin is damaged, what you will do? You will eat and become fattier, and you will not have zero figure and all those things. Okay, so this is called as anti-obesity hormone, which is called as leptin, and you will find the reference of this thing in upcoming paper as well, because this is the important topic for your particular examination. Okay, the previous one also heredity and environment, and this leptin orexin also. Okay, and if you are having the Cesarelli book, you will find the mentioning of this orexin and leptin both there, and insulin also, if I can remember properly, or you will find this in your NCRT. Okay, ghrelin is completely fine, we will discuss in the upcoming videos, but I hope now you remember this, what the leptin is doing. Leptin is letting you down to stop eating. You can also remember with this mnemonic as well, and this will make you to eat. Okay, to eat more. That is why we call leptin as an anti-obesity hormone. Because why? Repeat again and again, because it is letting us down and it is not letting us to eat more. So if we will not eat more, we will not get fatty, and we will not store more fat, and we will be slim and trim, and we will be athletic. Okay, now this is another question. Why has concrete experience and a reflective observation as dominant learning abilities? Views concrete situations from his different. Oh my god, so much difficult question. How to solve this? How to solve this? His experiential learning style is, don't need to worry, don't need to do anything. Correct answer is diverging style. Just simply skip type of these type of questions. Okay, it has no relevance to your examination. Okay, just leave it, skip it. If this question comes in 2024 till 2024, then your whole money will be refunded. But if this does not comes, then you have to pay. Okay, so just leave these type of question which has no relevance to your examination or have no relevance to anything. Okay, now this is important. It is important, very important. Which of the following problem solving technique involves the analysis of difference between the current situation and the desired set goal, then doing something to reduce this difference? If you want to try, you can do with the basic English knowledge as well, but the correct answer over here is option number 3, means and analysis. Means and analysis. Okay, now first of all, heuristics. We have discussed already the availability type and the representative type in the previous videos. What are sub goals? Sub goals are nothing in context with this particular question. And what is brainstorming? You are thinking, okay, I will do the books also, I will do the PYQs also, I will do the mocks also, I will do this also, I will do this also. You are doing, making your brain work. You are doing brainstorming simply. Don't, no need of explanation of this. What is brainstorming? Okay, just simply time based. Brainstorming, you already know how to just think of multiple options, but what is happening over here is, this is a problem solving technique. Okay, problem solving from your unit number 6 involves the analysis of difference between the current situation is over here, and the desired set goal, and then doing something to reduce this difference is called as your means and analysis. What you will do, right? No more rocket science here. Is in the current situation and desired set goal, what is the difference between them? Means and analysis. Just move ahead. Okay, don't need to worry about this thing. Again, this question using Hull's theory, they have never asked about this again, because these paper here used to be very tough. Now here what you need to do is, the correct answer is, I will tell you, but what is happening over here is, you need to know what is concurrent validity, you need to know what is construct, what you need to know what is lack of validity, and you need to know what is convergent validity. And this convergent validity is coming again and again as a multi method, that by Campbell and Fiske in the recent exams. Okay, so what is a construct validity? When your content will not be able to fulfill all the things, when your criterion will not be able to, or sorry, when your concurrent will not be able to fulfill all the things. This is for your content, this is for your concurrent. Then we move on to where? We move on to construct validity, and this is the correct answer for this. Okay, so how this will happen? You need to study for this, because using Hull's theory, Hull's was a guy using that theory. Taylor conceptualized that anxiety. Is there any physical anxiety, or is there any form of anxiety? Is an emotionally based drive that might differ from one person to another, and therefore high anxious subjects on Taylor's manifest anxiety scale, just a difficult question they are trying to make, should be conditioned faster than the low anxious subject. Okay, whatever he is doing, The study verified the hypothesis. What is happening over here is this provide evidence for your construct validity, because it was made a point of anxiety, nothing apart from that. Just some random question which is not going to repeat again ever. And then you are over here. Imaginal disputation by using the ability of client to imagine is a method of existential confrontation, gestalt therapy confrontation, mindfulness, and your REBT. Okay, so now is this question important? No, this is not important. What is important? Mindfulness is a technique to calm your mind simply. Okay, what do you do in mindfulness? You do meditation, you do concentrative meditation, you do transcendental meditation, you do multiple types of meditation is comprising of your mindfulness. Okay, that therapies and all that comes under mindfulness, and you are there on your own. But imaginal disputation by using the ability of client to imagine. No client is over here in the mindfulness process. Okay, so this options gets eliminated. Then is a method of, what about existential confrontation? It is nothing like this thing. Existential confrontation, no need to worry about this thing. It can be a therapy, existential therapy, but for this question it is nothing to worry about. Now, what is important is your REBT and Gestalt therapy. So what is happening over here is Gestalt therapy was given by whom? Laura and Fritz Perls. This is important, which I am writing down. Okay, these all long lectures make tongue twist and slip and whatever. Laura and Fritz Perls proposed or came up with an idea of what? Came up with an idea of Gestalt therapy, which has number of conditions under that. And one important thing over here is, now this is need to remember empty chair technique, and you will find the relevance of this point in the upcoming exams as well. They have asked about empty chair technique again and again. So Gestalt therapy, in Gestalt therapy you will find what? You will find empty chair technique, where they will be saying, okay, let's suppose you are sitting on that empty chair and just try to open up more and more, because it is a therapy session. But REBT, imaginal disputation, is the correct answer over here, given by your Albert Ellis. And what happens in REBT you can study, but we'll discuss about this in upcoming papers also, because everything is mentioned in paper only. You need not to do anything apart from basic books. But REBT, I told Albert Ellis, it has some ABCD functions. And next question is, which of the following was described by RB Cattell using S technique of factor analysis? Differential effects of stimulus situations on personality. Why RB Cattell will talk about stimulus situations? Group formation, social interactions, individual differences among people. The correct answer over here is social interactions. Okay, and why it is, you do not to worry. RB Cattell gave you 16 personality factors. Okay, using what? Using a method of factor analysis. This is important to you. This is not important to you, more relevant to you, but this is more relevant to you. Factor analysis was used by RB Cattell, gave 16 personality factors, and it has Q data, L data, T data, and all those things, which we will discuss in 2021 paper, and we would have already been discussed in the previous videos as well. Okay, about RB Cattell. Then I'm telling you, right till now I have just found two questions that were important. This REBT one, this previous one, that means and analysis, and one two more questions of that heredity and environment, and all those questions. Those are important. Rest all is something which is very irrelevant. Okay. And a psychological currency that permits deviation from the group is called. Okay, so it's just a simple technique of elimination over here. What is conformity, what is obedience, what is compliance? So compliance was given by your Robert Cialdini, and he gave number of methods, number of attempts, not attempts, number of things in the compliance. Put in the door in the face. We have already solved that question in previous paper. Now this is obedience. Obedience was given by only and only, first of all, your Stanley Milgram. Stanley Milgram. Okay, Stanley Milgram performed that Stanford prison experiment. No, Stanford prison experiment was done by Dr. Philip Zimbardo, and I remember one of our students, she was studying, and just day before of previous exam I told that okay, this is going to come, and she just joined approximately 1 week before, and just something like that, and I told that okay, this was an experiment. A recent movie was there on, not recent, but a movie was there on this experiment as well, and I just mentioned about this Dr. Philip, and that question was same in the examination the very next day. Okay, so you need to remember this thing about Dr. Philip Zimbardo, who done the Stanford prison experiment. Okay, for that individuation, de-individuation thing, social role thing. Don't worry, whatever I am saying, you will find in 2022 paper as well. Okay, now obedience was Stanley Milgram. perform that electric shock experiment, and you know rest of those things. Now what about conformity? Conformity was done by Solomon Asch, and there is one more name I am not able to remember. Jublipa, what was that name? Solomon Asch, and I guess Sheriff. No, not Sheriff. I'm not able to remember exactly what that name was, but I will tell you. Okay, so as of now, Solomon Asch was the famous experiment where three sticks were shown and they were asked how to do what is happening, how they were doing conformity and how they were not doing conformity, and things like that. Okay, so this is very, very important. So whatever I just told you, did I mention anything about psychological currency that is permitting deviation from the group? We didn't talk about anything about group in this topic, in this topic, and in this topic as well. Okay, let's suppose if the option would have been Robert's cave, then we would have thought of, okay, there is some example of group, Robert's cave experiment, group of people, how to do that, how to do this. But no, we don't talk about group anything. So the correct answer will be pretty obvious, idiosyncrasy credit. Okay. So what is idiosyncrasy credit? A psychological currency that permits deviation from the group we will refer to as our idiosyncrasy credit. Okay, all right, so we have discussed the 10 questions, and this is going to be the important one which we will discuss in the next video, which will be going to our part 2 of our December 2019 series. This was your part 1. Make sure that you are watching all the regular parts and you are following all the things which have been told in the videos, and you know what to do. You know to study smartly, and whatever has been told in the video, you just need to do that, nothing apart from that, because you will find no question which I am telling you that this has no relevance. You will find no relevance, no context of that question in this particular era, in this particular year. So you are not here to waste time on each and every stupid question, but you are here to gain real knowledge, exact knowledge, and precise knowledge for clearing your examination. Okay, so see you all in the next video. That's going to be part number 2. We will discuss about testing unit. Welcome back once again. In this video, we are going to discuss some of the most important things that are getting repeated in upcoming examinations, recent examinations, as well as you will find out that part 1, if you don't watch, it's completely fine, it's completely okay, but you have to watch it once. But this part number 2 is going to be very, very important. Okay, so let's start. First of all, I would like to explain you what is a test. So I hope you know what is a test. A test is something which, let's suppose you are giving UGC NET examination, and it consists of from question number 1 to question number 100. All right. So this is what, this is a simple test which has 100 questions. So now when we talk about test in psychology, there can be a intelligence test for measuring your intelligence. There can be a personality test for measuring your personality. There can be a interest test for measuring your interest, and vocational aptitude, and number of different tests that we considered in this unit number 3. but we will talk about some simple basic terms which you must be knowing, so that it is very helpful for you for understanding big and major concepts. Okay, so this is a PYQ course. We will stick to most of the basic things which are asked in your examination again and again. So first of all, what is this? What is question number 1? What is question number 2? What is question number 3? What is question number 4? What is question number 5 till dot, and what is question number 100? Whenever we will talk about all these in psychology, we will refer to this as items. Okay, so this is item number 1, asking about biopsychology. Item number 2, asking about, we can say, counseling. Item number 3 until item number 100. So any test will have what? First of all, primarily it will have these items. Okay, so it can be 20, it can be 30, it can be 40, and whatever it can be. Okay, all right, but this all is for your test construction part. But you are doing what? You are in this particular paper, or in this particular question, we will discuss about what you are. You are a response giver, or you are a subject over here. Okay, so there are number of responses which you will give to a test. It can be positive, it can be negative, it can be neutral, whatever it can be. So there are what? There are number of responses. Just like you mark the in the exam option number A, option number B, option number C, and option number D. You know, out of these, one of them will be what? One of them will be the correct answer over here. Okay, one of them will be the correct answer over here. But let's suppose I am this. Okay, so let's suppose you can write anything XYZ thing over here, and it will completely depend upon whom? It will completely depend upon your response, how you are pretending, how you are assuming this particular item, and how you are responding to this particular item. Okay, so now in test, or we can say in testing unit, there are number of responses which have to be dealt with, but right now we will deal with only acquiescence, random responding, faking, and socially desirable responding. Okay, so these four are what type? These four are your types of responses. Okay, in a test, how you will respond, these all are explained by this thing. Okay, now we will read the question. In a newly developed adjustment inventory. Okay, so what it is? It is a adjustment inventory using yes no format. Okay, so there are only two options or two answers, either yes or either no. There were some positively worded items, yes response indicating adjustment, and some negatively worded items, no response indicating adjustment. Test developers follow this practice to offset the effects of. Okay, so out of these responding, what the test developer has tried to offset the effects of which of these? About acquiescence, about faking, about socially desirable responding, and about random responding. Okay, let's suppose you are there in the exam hall. How you will respond this? So first of all, you will eliminate option number 3. Why? Because it is saying random responding. Random responding can be anything which you are doing randomly. So this option is easily eliminated just by simple knowledge of English language. Okay, random responding is never going to be the answer, and if still you don't know English, it's completely fine. This is never going to be the answer in this particular question, and this is not even a good option as well. Okay, all right. Now what the question is saying, there are some positively worded items. If the response is yes, it will indicate what? It will indicate adjustment. And some negatively worded items, no responses indicating adjustment. Now what does this mean? Let's suppose I am bad. Okay, this is an item, you are giving the test, and it is written in that item, I am bad, and what you are responding? You are responding yes. Okay, you are responding yes. Now let's suppose after 3-4 next items, there comes again an item which is saying I am very good. Okay, so what is going to be the appropriate response? If you are a sound person, if you are a normal person, and you are answering I am bad, yes, that means you think of yourself as bad. But now next item comes I am very good. So obviously what you will answer for this? You will answer no for this. Fair enough. What you will answer? You will answer no for this, because I am, if you thought, if you think about yourself you are bad, then how can be you can be very good? Okay, so it's just an example. And what you will answer? You will answer no. But what is happening over here? You will answer yes only. And in all the items you are presented with, you will answer what? You will answer yes, 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 yes. Okay, so what is happening over here? It is happening acquiescence over here, or acquiescence, whatever you want to say. This is acquiescence, and that's why this is the correct answer over here. Okay, you cannot mark yes 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 in the complete adjustment inventory, as well as you cannot mark a complete no 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 in the inventory, as well as you cannot mark all the answers as true, you cannot mark all the answers as bad, or we can say false. Okay, that's why in your real time examination what you don't do, you don't mark all the questions a, you don't mark all the questions b, all the questions c, all the questions d. Okay, so sometimes answer can be a, sometimes answer can be b, sometimes answer can be c, and sometimes answer can be d. And why this is being presented? Just to prevent your acquiescence. Okay, so this is the correct answer over here. So whenever you will find a test which has having yes no items or true false items or agree disagree items, you will use, or the test developer will be using why to offset the effects of acquiescence. Okay, now I hope now you get the gist of this acquiescence word. And this is what, this is a response set. Okay, so response set, so there are number of response sets, and one of them is acquiescence, and you will find primarily in which you will find in personality inventories, or you will find in, this is the personality, and second is your interest. Okay, so interest inventory and personality inventory, you will find most of the acquiescence thing response set in there. Okay, responses of like these yes 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 no 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 to all those items in the acquiescence. And now these two are somewhat similar. Okay, these two are somewhat similar. This is faking, and faking can be of two types. Okay, so I hope now you have a very healthy idea of what acquiescence is, and whenever the next time the question will come, you will be able to answer it very easily. Now moving forward to our faking. Faking can be of two types, and I hope you know the meaning of how to fake or what is faking. Okay, so first of all is what, first of all is your what is that, good, faking good, and second is faking bad. So as the name suggests, it is pretty obvious that you are going to understand what is going to happening, what is going to happen over here. Okay, and the alternate name for this faking good is what, is social desirable tendency, and for this is your social undesirable tendency. So I hope now you get the meaning of this thing, what is going to happen. Okay, social undesirable tendency and faking good are same thing, and faking bad and social undesirable tendency is the same thing. So now you understood that faking is not going to be the answer, and this is also not going to be the answer. They would have written social faking good over here or faking bad over here, but it's completely fine. So this is not a response set. So now you know there are three types of response set: acquiescence, faking bad, faking good, and this is social desirable. That's the same thing. So now first of all we will talk about faking good, also known as your social desirable tendency. This is very important. It might bump in your upcoming exam. So what does faking good mean? Let's suppose there is a marriage going to happen, and a family of boy's family went to girl's house, and whatever that day the girl is going to say about her him is what, to present a impression in front of their in-laws, or ought to be their in-laws or going to be their in-laws, faking a, sorry, not faking a good impression, but yeah, providing a good impression about herself or about her or by their family or by her only. Okay, so what she is doing, she is faking good over there. So whatever the responses they are asking, okay, can you do cooking? Yes, she is answering yes. What you can do this thing? Yes, I can do this thing. What you can do this thing? Yes, I can do this thing. You should not be doing this thing. No, I don't do this thing. So what she is doing, she is manipulating, or she is answering in such a way that their marriage gets fixed or something like that. Okay, so I hope now you got the gist of this faking good thing or social desirable. What does social desirable means? Anything that is desired by the society. Okay, so you cannot smoke in a temple, or let's suppose you cannot smoke in a temple or any religious place or at the school or at the college. Okay, so if someone asks, and you like smoking so much, but so if someone asks you, do you smoke in, you like to smoke, what you will say? No, but back of the mind you want to smoke over there. Okay, so this is the example of your faking good, and just the opposite of this will be what, opposite of this will be faking bad and social undesirable tendency. So let's suppose you want to not to go out in the party, so what you say, okay, I am ill, okay, I am having this thing, I am having this thing. So just like how children do when they don't want to study, what they do, okay mama, my pate or my stomach is aching, my I am having headache. Okay, so all those things which are what, which are not desirable or socially undesirable, it's just the example over here. But whenever you will perform this in testing, what will happen, it will happen as you are doing what? Social undesirable tendency responses and social desirable tendency responses. Okay, so let's suppose there is a victim and he is given a test. Let's suppose he has done murder, okay, and he is in the jail. There was a personality test about him, that okay, he is of sound mind or not, or while the time when he committed the crime, how was his frame of mind and all that. So what the victim will do, he will always answer the opposite of what the question is asking to them, so that he will present himself as a, we can say, a mental disorder, or he is just maladjusted, something like this. Okay, so that what he can just bypass the crime offense, or he just can bypass the jail term or imprisonment or whatever he can do best to save his own life. Okay, so these are the two examples, social desirable and social undesirable. So now acquiescence is good whenever you will answer all the yes, 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 all the true, true, true. So from question number 1 to question number 100, you will answer all the yes, 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 or either no, 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 and something like that. And in faking good, you will answer all those things which are socially desirable, and in faking bad, you will answer all those things which are undesirable. Okay, moving forward to next question, and this took so much long, and now see, this is very important and very easy. Okay, there's nothing to do more than this. Premack principle, I have already told you, came in June 2024. That's why we are solving this PYQs. More importantly, this Premack principle, correct answer will be what? More frequently occurring activity can be used to reinforce the activity that occurs less often. Okay, so this is just simply a Premack principle, that more frequently occurring activity can be used to reinforce the activity that occurs less often. The mother will present with what? With dessert to his child, so that he will study later on. Okay, he or she will tell to his child that okay, study now so that you can have dessert later on. And this is very, very important about Premack principle. So make sure before exam you remember this thing, Premack principle, and you will find it is getting repeated again and again. Don't worry. Come on, let's move forward to next question. Okay, which part of the brain is responsible for transferring information from STM to LTM? And now see how things will connect right now. So the correct answer will be, always remember, short-term memory, long-term memory. Long-term memory will always be there in your hippocampus. Hippocampus is the correct answer over here. Hippocampus is the correct answer over here. And which part of the brain, so let's suppose this is a brain, is responsible for transferring information from STM to LTM. Memory is going from where? Going from your STM to LTM. And where it is going? It is going in your hippocampus. Always remember, always associate hippocampus with your long-term memory. There is a process called consolidation, as far as I can remember correctly. There's a process called consolidation where it will happen in your hippocampus only. Okay, always remember, long-term memory, you will find this basic question repeating again and again. Always remember, LTM will form always in your hippocampus. Okay, all right. Now this cerebellum is what? Is for your movement and coordination. We already discussed this in previous videos, so now you get to know that how PYQs are important. Okay, so you do not need to understand what is cerebellum. We have already discussed about cerebellum, about movement and coordination, when we are doing that ataxia, apraxia, and those things. Okay, those how to involuntary movement and all those things. So now you know about cerebellum as well. Okay, so let's suppose 2-3 more times cerebellum will come, and it will be LTM in your hippocampus. Okay, now this hypothalamus, this is very, very important, boss. This is the big boss. Make sure you remember this thing. This is the big boss. Whatever is happening in your body, hunger, sex, water, drink, whatever you want to do, anything you want to do, is being operated by this guy or this person or this important thing in your brain, which is called as hypothalamus. Okay, just remember this thing, 100%. Big boss, it is your big boss. It will help you for eating also, help you for drinking also, help you for sleep also, help you for sex also. Everything about your body is going to be governed by whom? Let's say it is called as a central government. Okay, central government is your hypothalamus, and the state government is called what? Your hormones. Okay, so whenever central government will order, these hormones will start activating. Okay, you can associate this thing also with this thing. Okay, all right. And this amygdala is so simple, it is just primarily with your emotions. Okay, so I hope now just remember this, memorize this, and just do it again and again. Hypothalamus is for your what? Hunger and all those things. It is just a big boss. Just remember like this, big boss, because we will discuss when we will discuss about pituitary gland. I will tell you why this is very, very important. And this hippocampus is for your memory, and this is for your movement and coordination. And let's move ahead to next question. That is our, according to see, this question never gets repeated. It's going to come never. Okay, so don't worry. It's just a basic common sense question. According to definition theory, for the development of a concept of an office, one must, okay. So now you have to develop a concept. What is a concept? Anything, just go and read NCERT, okay. I'm not going to explain what is concept. You already know what is a concept, okay. Okay, so do I need to explain what is a concept to you also? No, see, this is amygdala. I explained just to you the concept. This is hypothalamus. I just explained the concept. This is hippocampus, and I am just explaining the concepts. So you better know what is concept. So for concept of an office, one must. Okay, so let's suppose you are there and you want to develop, and I am here, little baby, and you want to develop what? You want to develop concept of office in my mind. So what you will do? Will you construct an ideal office? Will you take me to visit various offices? Or will you list all essential features of an office, or transform a roof into office? What you will do, according to definition theory, whatever theory it is, they are going to come again. What you will do, simply you will list all essential features of an office. You will tell me that okay, there is a desk, there is a AC, there is a window, there is a what, that shutter bar, and there is a pen on the table, there is photo of India back in the backdrop, and all those things. What you will do, all the essential features of the office you will tell, so that I will be able to understand, okay, according to definition theory, this is a concept of office. Okay, moving forward, we read the following conversation and choose the best option. Okay, so this question was used to be asked again and again in those papers, but right now it is completely eliminated. But the concept is coming from your transactional analysis, and it is very very important. Okay, so this single lecture will take approximately 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay, so transaction, make sure you remember this thing what I'm telling you right now, and when those questions will come, I will explain that thing to you as well. Okay, okay, so transactional analysis is a technique given by whom? Given by your Eric Berne. Make sure you remember this thing, it will come in your exam again and again. Eric Berne gave about us about a transactional analysis. Okay, in transactional analysis there are three more important things. First is P, second is A, and third is C. Okay, so I hope you or you might not have heard about Tupac. Tupac was a singer, a rapper from America, and with this name you can associate this P thing, this A thing, and this is child thing. Okay, so it is for your parent ego, so your adult, and this is your child. Just remember this thing, Tupac with transactional analysis. Just remember this thing, and you will be able to solve answers based on this only: parent, adult, and child. Just remember this as of now. Okay, and the correct answer for this is your adult complementary transaction. So there are some transactions happening over here, but as of now, what time it is? I think it is about 9:30 a.m. So as of now, just remember the question is coming from your transactional analysis. And who gave this thing? This thing was given by Eric Berne or Eric Berne. And there are three important things in this, which is parent, adult, and child. Okay, so we operate our person, and this is a topic from your personality types. Okay, and we operate ourselves from these three conditions: parent ego, adult ego, and child ego, and all those things. Okay, we will discuss more about in upcoming papers as well, don't worry. Okay, feminist theory, no need to study this, never going to be asked again. Feminist theory helped in dealing with gender inequality, understanding this thing. Correct answer is option number 3. Just move ahead, don't waste time on these questions. Okay, you are not going to be someone who is going to study deep in or doing PhD in all these topics. Okay, but whatever is important, I am telling you proactively. Okay, and see, just see over here, I just told you about frustration aggression hypothesis, and it is coming again. In the last exam, in the last paper, June 2019, we solved on this thing. Okay, where the option was given as Dollard and Miller, and I told about Berkowitz also. And see, this Berkowitz guy, this came up again. Okay, so that is why important things I am mentioning it to you, and you will find as soon as possible we will do the papers, and you will find, okay, this was told in this video, this was told in this video, and your mind will work like magic. Okay, so which of the following is excluded from Berkowitz frustration aggression hypothesis? Now the question is saying about this guy, Berkowitz frustration aggression hypothesis, which of the following is excluded? Frustration always leads to aggression, social rules may inhibit aggression, frustration may result in this behavior, and cognitive factors can overside aggression. Okay, so now what you need to remember is, first of all, the correct answer is this one: frustration always lead to aggression. Frustration always lead to aggression. This is not thing. Why? Because the question is asking about which of the following is excluded from Berkowitz frustration aggression hypothesis. Okay, so I would like to show you this document, and see, this is very very important. First of all, aggression or action meant to harm or destroy is unfortunately another typical reaction to frustration. So once you are frustrated, it will lead to aggression. We can understand that this statement is saying this. Early psychologists in the field of behaviorism proposed the connection between frustration and aggression. Okay, so in the previous video also we talked about this thing, frustration and aggression, calling it the frustration aggression hypothesis, Dollard and Miller. So first of all, Dollard and Miller name is associated with your frustration aggression hypothesis. Okay, all right. Although, now look over here, although they believed that some form of frustration nearly always precedes aggression. Okay, what it is saying, every single word is important. Nearly always precedes aggression. What is preceding? Frustration. Okay, fair enough. But that does not mean that frustration always leads to aggression. Frustration will lead to aggression. It is not the case. Yeah, in some cases it might precede, but it's just the word twisting over here. Okay. And then in a reformulation of the frustration aggression hypothesis, Berkowitz 1993 stated that frustration creates an internal readiness to aggress. It is creating what? It is creating an internal readiness to aggress. But that aggression will not follow unless certain external cues are also present. There should be some external cues that are presented so that that person will follow the aggression thing. For example, if the human source of a person's frustration is far, let's suppose you are this much and I am this much, so it's pretty likely that you are not going to fight with me no matter how frustrated you are. Okay, why? Because I am bigger and stronger, far larger and stronger in appearance. Because why? There is no external cue for you to show your aggression for me. Okay, and that is why we are marking this thing. Why? Because which of the following is excluded? What is excluded? Frustration always lead to aggression. No, this is not the case. Social rules may inhibit aggression. Yes, social rules may inhibit aggression. You will not aggress towards your parents, towards your elders and all those things. Then frustration may result in other behavior than aggression. Yes, you can shout on someone or you want to bang your head on the wall, which is your one of the other behaviors. And cognitive factors can oversight aggression. Yes, pretty obvious that if you are going to get money from someone or you are going to get a promotion, you will not storm on your boss. Okay, so now you saw just now that this was the very first question that came from the previous paper. Okay, there are many questions. Okay, this question, 11 rural, 11 semi-urban and 11 urban students were thoroughly interviewed and they were ranked using a pool sample of N33 for their communication skills. Which of the following statistical technique? Okay, whatever happening over here is, let it be, but I just note this thing what I am telling you right now. There is a French word called NOIR. Okay, just remember this French word. Why? Because we are going to cut it in between two pieces. This will refer to as your non-parametric. Just mug this up thing. It is repeated again and again in each and every paper. And this is your parametric thing. With no, you can associate non-parametric. Okay. So there are two types of test, non-parametric and parametric in our psychology, statistics and that portion. And for that, two parametric and non-parametric we are going to discuss, and this is your parametric test. Okay, and what is going to happen over here is yes, okay, so this is your IR. So why this French word is very important in your life, entire life? Because N is for your what scale? N is for your nominal scale or nominal data, whatever the question is asking, nominal scale, nominal data. O is for your ordinal, and I is for your interval, and R is for your ratio. And just remember this thing, note, very important note, only ratio scale is having what? Having absolute zero. Absolute zero is always already or will be available only in the ratio scale, ratio thing. Okay, this is very important, and you will find a question from this particular statement what I am saying right now. So absolute zero is only available in ratio scale. Okay, and it has an absolute zero, means what is your weight? You can have 0 weight and you can have 40 kilo weight, or you can have 50 kilo weight. You can have height of 0 inches or 0 meters. There are 0 absolute in ratio scale, but not in interval, not in ordinal, and not is this thing. Okay, nominal is something when you are going to categorized. Okay, so these are basketball players and these are, we can say, tennis players. This is a categorization. Okay, you cannot say how many and how much, what, all those things, but how many or like that. You will understand when the questions like this will come. I am just supposing that you don't know anything and you just are here to brush up the knowledge, or you will get all the knowledge eventually when you complete all the papers, because every lecture is linked to the previous lectures. Okay. And ordinal is when you are going for the rank. Ordinal is rank. Okay, so that guy came first, that guy came second, that guy came third, that guy came fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh, like that. Okay, so what is happening over here is, for ranked data you will always have ordinal whenever there are rank. Okay, so in tennis, no, in Olympics what happens, we are having ordinal data, that Usain Bolt came first, then came Mikhail Petrovic, and all those things second and third, like that. And for interval scale, there we can say there is no fixed zero. Okay, there is no absolute zero in this interval. So for, let's suppose, centigrade of temperature or Fahrenheit of temperature is can be considered under your interval scale. This is very very important. And whenever, now the main history comes, or we can say the twist comes, whenever we are to deal with this data, we will use what? We will use parametric test. And whenever we are having this data, nominal and ordinal, we will use what? We will use non-parametric test. Make sure that you remember this thing. NO is for non-parametric test. Just this much, and you will be amazed to solve most of the questions based on this knowledge only. Okay, what is parametric, non-parametric? If you don't know also, but you should know, but it's completely fine. And most important parametric test, most important, it is 100% important, not 100, 10,000, 10 lakhs important for you. T-test is will come under a parametric test, as well as ANOVA will come under a parametric test. Did you got this? If you don't got this, make sure that you write right now on your hand, on your palm, on your face, wherever you want, that T-test is a parametric, as well as ANOVA is a parametric test. What it is, how it is, we will deal in upcoming videos, but right now T-test and ANOVA are parametric. Okay. Now let's study the question. 11 rural, 11 semi-urban, 11 urban students were thoroughly interviewed and they were ranked using a pooled sample of N33 is given. Which of the following did you found the keyword? If not, it's completely fine. And explore group wise difference and communication skills and all those things. Okay, it's completely fine. What did I just told you? T-test is for parametric, as well as ANOVA is for your parametric. Now tell me this thing. Is this a parametric or is this a non-parametric question? Try to analyze this thing. Tell me what it is. Just try to think on this point. Okay, so what happens in T-test? T-test are whenever you are having two groups. Whenever you are having two groups and you are able to compare mean between them, you will always use T-test. And whenever when ANOVA you have more than two groups, it can be 3, it can be 4, it can be 5, it can be infinity. Any number of groups more than 2, you will always use what? You will always use ANOVA. Okay, because ANOVA is just a upgradation and more precise thing for your T-test. Okay, so right now you got to know T-test and ANOVA are two parametric tests, and parametric test will always deal with your interval data and ratio data. Okay, so are you finding any interval or ratio over here? And I will tell you the keyword right now. Okay, and now this is the keyword. What it is written over here? It is written over here as ranked. What does rank mean? Rank mean your ordinal. So one way ANOVA for independent sample, ANOVA is all eliminated over here, because we just got to know that this is a ordinal data. Ordinal will work for NO and it will work for our non-parametric test. Fair enough? Okay. Now what is this Friedman test and what is this Kruskal-Wallis and what is this rank difference correlation? In the upcoming videos I will draw a table or chart of this thing where it will be parametric and here it will be non-parametric. Just mug this up, you will be able to solve more than 10 questions just based on this. Okay, so the correct answer for this as of now you must remember is Kruskal-Wallis H test. What it is? Kruskal-Wallis H test is the correct answer. Why it is, you will find in upcoming papers. Don't worry, I am telling you the same question opposite way is going to be asked in the upcoming exams. Okay, so correct answer over is Kruskal-Wallis. Why Kruskal-Wallis? Because one group, two group and three groups. How many groups are there? There are three groups. There are three groups over here. 11 rural, 11 semi-urban and 11 urban. So no matter in the history or world in our life, we are going to use the T-test over here because we are having three groups. Okay, and but they were ranked, so we will use non-parametric test. And now you got to know that Kruskal-Wallis S test is what? Is a non-parametric test. Fair enough? Now you just from this lecture you know that Kruskal-Wallis is a non-parametric test and parametric are your t-test and your that's ANOVA thing. Moving forward to next question. Lecture is getting long. Okay, the bipolar adjective fast low and it's just simply an activity factor. You will find this in 2021 as well, and in cancel paper also there is a question on this particular question. This is a Osgood semantic differential scale. In 1957 it has three factors: evaluative, potency and activity, EPA. Just remember this thing, and if you go through the AK Singh book, there's a table diagram done over there. Just remember all those things which is coming our activity, which is coming under evaluation, and all those things. Okay, this is a very important concept. Moving forward to last question for the day. In quota sampling, the probability of each element of population being included in the sample is, can you just think what is going to be happening in quota sampling? Is equal to sampling fraction can be specified. No, it cannot be specified in advance. This is the correct answer. Why strata? We are not going to talk about probability. It is asking about quota sampling. So quota sampling is comes under what? Comes under probability or non-probability. कोई अगर जाएगा स्नो सत्तू देगा. See, PYQs are getting repeated again and again. Quota sampling, accidental sampling, judgmental, saturation, snowball, and dense sampling. Just remember what is happening in this, and in quota sampling cannot be specified in advance. We cannot say this much quota is going to be taken, this much quota is going to be taken, and the lecture is not going to be taken more, because we are done with more 10 questions, and this is the end of part 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was very important video. Part 1 was it's okay. You could have, if you skip, it's completely fine. In this question also, no need to study, my friend. This is not going to come, so don't need to waste time on such questions. But whatever I am saying, you will find exact same questions getting repeated again and again. See you all in third part. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead. We are into part number 3 of our December 2019 series of Premium PYQ 2.0. In the last video, we discussed about this question, that this question is not going to come again repeat. So the correct answer over here is your Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, so this is from your unit number 1 where we study about Buddhism, and in that we have major 3 schools. This is Vajrayana, this is Theravada, and this is Mahayana, and this is also Nirvana, which is something related to your enlightenment and all. But the question over is saying is, following school of Buddhism focuses on collective freedom from suffering and feeling the ways of enlightenment. So what is discussed? It is discussed in your Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, so there is one more that is called Hinayan. Hinayan majorly, then we have Mahayana, and then we have Vajrayana. So Vajrayana is associated with your Tantric and all that. So if you want to study this much in detail, very detailed, then you can refer to Tamil Nadu 12th class book 11-12, where you will find about Buddhism as well, and as well as Jainism as well in complete detail. But it is very irrelevant to read all this in that detail, because it is not going to come, or it is not getting repeated. And even if it gets repeated, then only of 2 marks. So for 2 marks you would not want to waste your questions in such type of questions or waste your time in such type of questions. So it is not necessary that you know all these things. Okay, then again this type of question used to come in previous papers, and now it is, we can say, almost negligible that these type of questions will be coming. But you are watching this video, so don't worry. Diversity of approaches to functional psychology at Columbia. The three psychologists who illustrated the diversity of approaches to functional psychology at Columbia were, correct answer is your James McKeen Cattell, E.L. Thorndike and R.S. Woodworth. So did we discuss about Woodworth? No, I am not remembering the exact, but I recently took a lecture for Hindi guys, and there I mentioned that he started the first projective test of yours, sorry, not projective, first personality test of by Woodworth. I will tell you in the upcoming videos. Okay, so it was in 1917. All right, it was in 1917 that this guy Woodworth came up with his personality test. Okay, and he named it as personal data sheet. This is important to you. Make sure that you remember or you note these points. Okay, personal data sheet 1917 by Wordsworth. And now coming into this question, so we discussed about Wordsworth also. So in 1917 he proposed the first personality test for your the personal data sheet, the personal data sheet, TPDS. Okay, and then this guy you already know, we discussed in the previous papers, E.L. Thorndike. What he gave us about law of effect, which was proposed by Skinner later on with the same reinforcement, operant conditioning and all that. He also gave law of exercise, how much you exercise you will learn more, and after that law of practice, or we can say is the same thing, exercise and practice, but law of readiness as well. Okay, how prepared you are to learn, it will also depend on your learning. If you are not prepared to watch these videos, if you are not prepared to learn, how will you learn? You will not learn. Okay. Okay, then this guy James McKeen Cattell, what he did in 1889, in some books it is 1889, as per NTA also it was 1889, but in some books you will find 1890 reference as well. So make sure that the question how they are asking you frame in that sense only. Okay, so James McKeen Cattell gave about mental test. Okay, so this was the term mental test which was first coined by, and it is a paper of NTA where they asked when the mental test was coined by first, in which year. Okay, so they have given mention 1889, but in some books of general psychology you will find 1890 as well. So it depends completely on the question how you will be able to tackle. Okay, but remember around 1889 1890, just take one of the options how they are giving the options. And this guy James McKeen Cattell gave what, gave mental test the term for the very first time. Okay, so in 1905 we are having what, we are having our that Binet-Simon scale we discussed in previous videos, Binet-Simon scale 1905 by French ministry. And before that 1889, what it is happening, 1889 or sometimes 1890 as well, this guy is giving the first time the term called as mental test. Okay, this is important. This question is not important. If it comes up again, just mark this, James McKeen Cattell, Thorndike and Wordsworth associated with this, but the knowledge which I gave you right now, it is more important. Okay, and apart from that all the answers are jumbled up, but it's fine. Okay, so moving forward to next question. Next question is our, which of the following statements is true regarding the relationship of test length with reliability and validity? Okay, now for this you need to understand what is reliability and what is validity, and I will try to sum it up so that you never forget in your entire life. So this is reliability and this is validity, and that's it. Okay, so what is happening in reliability? Whatever you are measuring today, you will be able to measure it tomorrow as well. Okay, so let's suppose that you are watching this video, so is it reliable? Yes, it is getting benefited to you, or these videos are beneficial for you today, it will be beneficial for you tomorrow as well. Okay, but let's suppose if these videos are visible or not visible, available to you today and not tomorrow, we cannot say that this is not reliable, or we can say if it is helping you today but not helping you tomorrow, then we can say it is not reliable. Okay, but in validity what we saying, if you have joined this course, then what is going to happen, you are here to see psychology important questions PYQ solution. Okay, you are here to see this thing, but what if I tell you about geography portion or history portion or modern India portion or some other things I start telling you? So will it be valid? No, it will not be valid. Okay, you are here to watch these videos of psychology paper solve which I am giving it to you, but is it valid? Yes, it is valid then, but if I start telling you geography, that okay, this is the mountains and this is the sinusoidal waves and this is the P waves and this is how earthquake will form and we will go to the epicenter and all those things. So will it be valid? It will not be valid. Same goes with your reliability. Let's suppose there is a personality test and it is measuring your personality, and you are, let's suppose you are having extraversion today, you will also be having extraversion tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 14 days, 21 days, same result should be given, so that we can say it is reliable. Same as like if it is, we are talking about validity, then the test should be measuring your personality only. Okay, based on the data we cannot be able to assess your intelligence, your interest, or any other thing. Okay, so validity is what it intends to measure, intends to measure, then we say that okay, it is valid. And reliability, same result should be observed again and again. And let's take one more very general example. Okay, so this is a grocery store, or we can say the sabji wala in Hindi is a grocery store, and this is the guy from whom you took the vegetables and all those things. Okay, so let's suppose he gave you one day bhindi, or next day cauliflower, and you are coming here again and again. Why you are coming here and again? Because this guy is reliable. Whenever he is giving you vegetables, it is reliable. Okay, they will not be bad, they will be hygienic, good, and all those things. Okay, so this is the thing with your reliability. And let's suppose talking about validity, will it be valid? And you are coming for here for what? You are coming for here to purchase vegetables, but this guy is giving you what? Giving you fruits. Okay, take this sir, these fruits ma'am, this is very helpful. So will it be valid? No, you are coming for this sabji wala and you are getting fruits, so it will not be valid. So I hope now you got the example, and if you just remember these examples, any question coming regarding reliability and validity, you will be able to solve. At least you will have the basic concept in your mind. So the correct answer over here is, as the test length increases, both reliability and validity improve. It just goes on with your sample size. Okay, so I will try to explore this more. As the test length increases, both reliability and validity improve. So what is going to happen is, this is a personality test and we say it has 10 items. So I hope you know what are items. Okay, if not, watch previous videos. 10 items. This is having 10 items personality test. Reliability is, we can say, 60%, and validity is, we are saying 60%. So if we double this 20%, 20 items, this will increase also, and this will also increase. We took it to 40 items, it will also increase, it will also increase. If we took to 80 items, it will also increase, it will also increase. Okay, so as the test length is increasing, the items are increasing, test length is doubling, tripling, quadruple, and pentagonal, whatever it is getting increased, your reliability and validity will always be increasing. Okay, just suppose like you watch the first video, you were okay, it will be reliable or valid. But if you watch 10 videos, your reliability increases, validity increases. You watch 100 videos of mine, very high reliability and validity coming up soon. Okay, why? Because as the test length is increasing, you are getting result higher and higher, or you are getting reliability higher and higher. Okay, this is helpful, this is helpful, this is helpful, and this is reliable, and this is valid. Okay, I am learning about psychology only, I am not learning anything apart from psychology, so it is valid as well. And we are talking about UGC net questions only, and not for GATE or for 11 12 or for any PGT exams. We are not discussing any of those things. Okay, so now I hope the answer is clear. Just mark this concept up, that as test length increases, both reliability and validity will improve, and this reliability and validity also have a relation. We will discuss this when the question will arrive. Okay, moving forward, see PYQ repeat. As soon as you saw this, I just told you in that video also, there are only how many stages? There are 5 stages, and now you will be more joyful because we discussed perceived emergency, cost benefit, and all those things. We will discuss those 5 steps, and this is the what same question is asked again. Question is saying, according to decision stage model, how many stages are comprised in taking a decision? How many? 5. Perceived emergency, this, that, total how many stages? Total 5 stages. And I told you that this question is very important, and it is came up in recent exams as well. They are asking one time how many stages, they are asking these stages, arrange these in order, and we arrange that in order as well. Okay, so you saw this particular question, that PYQs are getting repeated, and as we do more papers, you will be able to solve easily because you would have been all gained the knowledge. Which among the following are the levels of processing proposed by Craig and Lockhart? Okay, so first of all, what happens is, this is from your topic memory, and this Craig and Lockhart came up with the idea of levels of processing model, which you will find in NCERT as well and in general books as well. So this was in around 1972. Baddeley H model around 1984. That working memory concept 84 74. I'm just not sure, but yes, this time it came very late. Working memory concept came very later on. Okay, and then you have in 1968. In 1968 was whom by them by Atkinson and Shiffrin stage model Atkinson and Shiffrin. Everything is mentioned in the NCERT, everything is mentioned in the standard books, and everything is mentioned in our lectures and PYQ solving papers. Okay, so you will find the same question in 2021. Not this question, but what I just told you about these years, it will get repeat in 2021. Okay, make sure that you watch those free lectures because it was completely free on YouTube. Okay, all right. So 1972 Craig and Lockhart. So in the Craig and Lockhart model, what it is saying that we are levels of processing, and we will be having three levels over here, and those are physical, acoustics, and semantic. We process information by these by meaning. Semantics means cement means always means meaning. Okay, so it is associated with your semantic memory is meaningful memory, whatever you learn the facts and mug those all those things. Acoustic is your for your, we can say, the listening part which you are doing. Okay, acoustics, you have said music and all that, acoustic music and all that. So this acoustic is for your sound listening, and the physical is for maybe for your eye touch and whatever you are doing by those things. Okay, so physical, acoustic, and semantic are the levels proposed by. You can learn also as this pass. There's one more model of intelligence, PASS, so don't get confused, just make it SAP, okay, or APS, whatever way you want to learn this mnemonic you can do by three of those ways. SAP is, I think, more convenient. Semantic, acoustic, and physical, by these three means are what these are the levels of processing proposed by Craig and Lockhart. Just remember this, just mug this up. It is not going to repeat, but you have to be well prepared. Okay, this might come. Okay, and then we have given over here, this is again next question, which device is used for the expression of different letters of a word? And what I just told you, SAP, what you did, acoustic, this is physical, and this is your semantic. So device is used for the expression of different letter of a word. So I just told you this is about music, so not going to be the option, and we refer to it as acronym. You would have learned VibGyor, okay, and that we can say more models of we can say Indian government and all those things which have SMPA program and all those things. What are those are acronyms. Why? Because it is a device used for the expression of different letters of a word. So let's suppose semantic is a word, acoustic is a word, and physical is a word. So what we did, we took the first words and make a what, make a acronym. So this is the correct answer. So this is not going to be getting repeated, and this has never repeated, so you should be careful of that. And what is clustering? Clustering is your 194720111968 and 2004. What we do, we just cluster this 1947-2011 World Cup. This is independence. This is your Craig and Lockhart, not Atkinson and Shiffrin. And this one is your Suller disinhibition model. Okay, this is Suller disinhibition model, and we discussed in the previous video as well, where I told you about online disinhibition effect, and it will be coming up. Okay. Okay, and this is not a keyword system, so the correct answer over here is acronym. Don't worry, what I am just telling you, just note that down. Rest L also rest all is just no need to worry about. Okay, just see this word. As soon as you saw this word, you are able to recollect that I know this word. This is 100% sure. Now, which of the following explains the tendency of traits that are encoded on the same chromosome to be inherited together? Do this question has any relation to mitosis? A big no. Why? Because you have watched all the previous videos where it was told mitosis is what? Procedure of division of cells. Okay, this the zygote is getting divided into two. This is getting two, this is getting two. This is called as mitosis. Okay, this is called as mitosis. This is not meiosis, and this is not a gene expression. So correct answer over here is your linkage. We do not have to study that much of biology. These types of question comes once in a blue moon, so no need to worry about. Okay, and meiosis, you do not need to study about this thing particular, because no question is coming from this topic. So the correct answer over here is linkage. So what is linkage? Just note this down. What is linkage? Linkage is the tendency of traits that are encoded on the same chromosome to be inherited together. So chromosomes, how many? 23 from your mother, 23 from your father, combines becomes how many? 46 chromosomes. And tendency of traits that are encoded on the same chromosome to be inherited together is called as linkage. That's it, nothing more than that. This is important, and that's why I told you in the previous video. So now you are able to get that this option is never going to be the correct answer over here. Moving forward, confrontation in Gestalt therapy involves, it involves your what and how questions. No what and why, no why, no why, no why. Okay. So confrontation is a process. I hope you know the meaning of confrontation. What is a confrontation in Gestalt therapy? Gestalt therapy by whom? I just told you previously. Laura, both husband and wife, and Fritz Perls. Fritz Perls is the first name and this is the second name. Fritz Perls proposed Gestalt therapy. This is important. This is very, very important. Fritz and Laura Perls told us about Gestalt therapy, not Gestalt psychology. Be alert, not Gestalt psychology. Gestalt therapies were proposed by that Fritz Perls and Laura Perls. Okay, and what is confrontation? Confrontation in Gestalt therapy involves what and how questions. So this was the time in 2019, 6 years back, when they used to ask questions like this, and you will find in every therapy there is some sort of confrontation and whatever is happening, and there are some you will find what and how, some you will find this, some you will find this, and some you will find this. So you need not to study all this much. It's just a once in a blue moon question, so don't worry about this thing in particular. And if you find this question coming up next, then it has no use because it never showed up. So if this question same gets, so if this question is going to repeat it, they will repeat similar question. Okay, like how, what English I am saying, what and how questions are used in Gestalt therapy, which is said as confrontation. They will give you empty chair and all of those things. Okay, an empty chair also is a technique in Gestalt therapy. You need to remember all this thing. And now moving forward, okay, Descartes argued the body and mind interact according to him, which is the site for this interaction. Okay, this was the last time Descartes came up in paper, or maybe 1-2 times you will find more, and after that it came in 2024. I guess cancel paper 1 or December 1, December 2023. Okay. So as of now, no need to worry. Descartes we will deal with, and he argued that body and mind interact. So now you know René Descartes, French philosopher René Descartes, if you want to say Descartes, you want to say, he told that body and mind are interacting according to him, which is the site for interaction. We don't know anything, but the correct answer over here is your pineal gland. What is the correct answer? Correct answer is your pineal gland, pancreas gland, pituitary gland, and adrenal gland. So why are we here? We are here to study pineal gland. So if next question comes, according to Descartes, body and mind are interacting, and where this interaction is happening, it is happening in the pineal gland. And now I would like to show you something, which is pineal gland secretes what? Now you need to note down this, whatever I am going to write on the screen. Melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone released by what? Released by your pineal gland, which regulates your what? Sleep wake cycle. Okay, sleep wake cycle. Questions on sleep were also used to come. Nowadays it is very less, but melatonin is secreted from your pineal gland. It is also called as the epithalamus. Epithalamus. Okay, and yes, it is also called as the epithalamus and third eye also. In the recent paper there was some word like this, so we will discuss. But now you will be able, as soon as you saw that question, you will be able to solve the other questions as well with this much knowledge only. Pineal gland secreting melatonin helps in sleep wake cycle. So when this will go up, it will happen something in your body. It will go down, happen something in your body, and it is also called as the epithalamus. Now next is our what? This is our pancreas. Pancreas is for your insulin secretion. Insulin what? Insulin is again a hormone. In the previous video, remember we talked about hunger hormone and all those things. Insulin, glucose, food intake association is there. Okay. All right. So pancreas will secrete your insulin, and this is the master gland. Okay. Note this down. As long as hypothalamus is important, this gland is also important. Pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is also called the master gland, and you must remember this thing again and again, because question of this same kind has came up in recent exams. And adrenal gland is for your that it has, see, adrenal gland has two layers. First is medulla and one is cortex. Medulla is in between. Let's suppose this is a cortex and this is the between, this is medulla part and this is cortex part, and whatever is happening in your stress signal and all those things, the signal will be told to this, and from here you will release the cortisol. Okay, cortisol, you will also find the relevance of cortisol in upcoming papers as well. Don't worry, I am saying it will come, it will definitely come in upcoming papers. Okay, and cortisol. Okay, that is enough for now. How many questions are left? 80 and okay. See this question. Who will not solve this? Which part of neuron is covered by myelin sheath? Last video I told you about neuron. This is neuron. This is axon. Action potential generated from axon hillock. This is your myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. Did I draw myelin sheath here? Did I draw here? No. So correct answer will be your whole of axon, whole of dendrite, parts of dendrite, or parts of axon. So it's pretty obvious, parts of axon. Why? Because axon is starting from here. This is complete axon. But where is myelin sheath? Myelin sheath is like this. Some minute gaps. So is it covering like this? No, it's not covering like this. Why? Because the message has to be passed from this axon hillock. Jump, 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 and like this. Okay. So these gaps are little tiny gaps are called as nodes of Ranvier or node of Ranvier. Okay, node of Ranvier. You will find relevance in NCERT and standard books as well. And this is your nucleus. This is called as soma body, and this is your from where the AP will generate is called as axon hillock. I have already told all this in previous videos. Make sure that you watch all those videos. Very important. So which part of neuron is covered by myelin sheath? Parts of axon. Myelin sheath are formed in two places, CNS and PNS. In CNS who will form oligodendrocytes, and PNS who will form Schwann cells. Already discussed in previous videos. That's why each and every video is very important. Value of behavior to the organism, its evolutionary history and its correlation. This happening in. Not going to repeat this same question. Correct answer over here is option number 4, ethology. Okay, what is happening in ethology? These all happens in ethology. Just remember this thing. Psychoanalysis, pretty obvious. Dream analysis and all those things. Evolutionary psychology also not, and this is also not the incorrect answer. Correct answer is ethology. Now let's understand what is happening in ethology. Value of behavior to the organism, its evolutionary history and its causation in terms of stimulus, hormonal and neurological events. And all this is the area of study in ethology. Just remember one name, Konrad Lorenz. I don't know why I am telling you this, but just remember this name, and I will tell you in upcoming videos why I am writing this Konrad Lorenz over here. Okay, Konrad Lorenz, just remember the name Konrad Lorenz, and it will come up in recent exams. Don't worry, and it recently came also in one of the papers. So I guess see 23 minutes we took and we just done the 10 questions. Why we are able to do this? Because we have already studied this in previous videos. We have taken our time over there and now we are able to solve CCCC. I told you na beta endorphin. Okay, we discuss in next video. Okay, see. Okay. In the next video, we'll start from this part 4, 81 question and move to 90.